Evening, everybody. Gonna make this the last installment of our fire tenders. What I want to do tonight is go over what I call my lint logs, which ain't nothing but wrapping paper with some jute twine, raffia twine, a toilet paper roll, and some lint wrapped up. I'm gonna show you real quick how I make these. Okay, all I do is take a toilet paper roll. Whenever I empty my dryer and clean out my dryer lint screen, I just take my lint and I stick it inside the toilet paper roll. Just keep saving it up till I got me a full roll. Then once I got that, I'll take me a piece of wrapping paper. You can use newspaper. In actuality, newspaper probably works better for catching fire. However, I don't have anybody around here that takes the newspaper anymore. All of us do the internet thing. But all you do is take your roll. Once you're done with your roll, you take your roll, put it inside your wrapping paper or newspaper. All you do is roll it up, real simple. Then what I do, instead of sealing the ends or anything, I just take the ends and stuff them inside the toilet paper roll. And I'll show you the reason why I do it this way here in a second. Okay? That's all you do is just stuff it up in there. Okay. I have seen a lot of people that will dip these in wax. I just don't want to dip them in wax. Okay, then I take me a piece of jute twine, I don't know, about a foot long. Take it and I roll it over. You're going to see why I do this here in just a second. Okay, now I just take it and tie it. Just tie it in just a regular knot. It doesn't matter. Okay, now the reason why I just stuff the ends like this and I don't seal the ends, because it doesn't take very much to actually start a fire, and I want to be able to reuse this. I mean, not reuse it, but I want to have more than just one fire's worth of lint. So I always just undo the ends, pull the ends out like this. Then I pull me out a little bit of lint. Okay. Also, if I want to, I can just cut me a little bit of the paper off and, you know, use it. I can cut this jute off, and I can untwist it, unravel it, pull it apart, and that makes a real good fire tender. Okay, so that's that. Okay, if you notice, I got quite a few of them here. I've been kind of collecting for the last few months. I haven't used none. I've got one more in my little shoulder bag, and I got one in my day pack that I keep. So just making up a supply of them right now. Okay, now this jute alone, the piece of string will make you a bundle of fire tinder about this size, and jute will go up in a flame real fast. It's kind of like an untreated cotton ball, so you've got to have all your fire equipment or all your fire supplies ready to be able to put on this jute to get it going. Okay, next thing, talking about jute, the first and the last bushcraft gathering I went on, there was a guy there that's the organizer, and he makes these jute wax dipped fire tender things here. It's got a key ring holder on here, so you can put it on your key rings and carry it around with you. And all you do is try to untwist. You just untwist just a little bit, and then you start the fire on the end. Once you get your fire built, then you can snuff this out, and then that way you can keep on using it. Okay? Okay, and since we're on that subject, he gave me the idea. I'm currently making a flint and steel striker. I'm not finished with the striker, but to put that striker on, I've made a twisted macrame jute necklace. Then that way, whenever I make my fire steel and everything, I'm going to put it on here. It gives me kind of a supply, pretty big supply of jute twine for me to take off and use as a fire tender. Okay? And talking about jute twine, I bought this roll of jute twine. It's 400 feet of jute twine. I've already made my necklace out of it, and the little bit that I've been using for my other little fire tender things. And you'll notice it does say 400 foot. Okay, and I bought this for 50 cents. 50 cents is what I paid for it. Okay, so jute twine's pretty cheap. I mean, you can get bundles and bundles and bundles of this fire tinder out of a roll of jute twine. Of course, I use this in the garden also for tying up my tomatoes and stuff. And let me see. The next thing I want to talk about is fire tenders. Okay, everybody knows that triple alt steel wool is great for starting a fire. You can even start it just by putting a 9-volt battery to it. Okay, however, it does burn pretty fast, but this is enough for about I'm gonna say probably 3 fires. Okay, now the other thing I made is I took some pine, well, I'm gonna say it was 2x4, scrap 2x4 I had, and I just cut it up to about 5 inches, and then I batoned it into a bunch of little sticks here. Now I took some kerosene and isopropyl alcohol, and I mixed it together. And this jar was about up to here with the liquid. And you'll notice that where it's at right now, it's almost a quarter way down from where it was. So these pine sticks right here have soaked up all that kerosene and isopropyl alcohol. Every so often I'll shake it up and down so that way it keeps the logs wet. Excuse me. And I will tell you, this stuff here with just a little bit of jute twine should be able to, you can start a fire probably in snow, wind, and everything else, because once this stick gets started, it burns and it burns and it burns. Of course, a lot of people ain't going to want to carry around you know, a glass jar with liquid in it, but I'm sure you could find a plastic jar. Still got to kind of be careful, worry about it cracking or something like that and getting that kerosene and isopropyl alcohol on it. Isopropyl alcohol wouldn't be too bad because it evaporate pretty fast, but that kerosene ain't going to evaporate if it's oil based or it's got an oil base to it. So, but these things burn great right here. I really like these things. A lot of people says that's cheating when it comes to bushcrafting and stuff like that. Well, guess what? If I'm out in the woods and I'm cold and I want a fire, I want something that's going to guarantee me a fire, and I know these things will start a fire. Okay. Let's see what all we've got in here. This should be my last video on fire tenders and stuff. I'll show you just a few things that I have. Of course, my necklace right here. My jute wax keychain here. My lint logs. I got plenty of lint logs. I'm going to put a couple up here. Of course, I got my little bundle of jute twine that I untwisted and I pulled apart. I have my Vaseline soaked cotton balls. I have my waxed cotton cosmetic pads. Okay, notice they fit in there pretty good once I put them in there. I smashed them down a little bit. I cracked some of the wax, but that's no big deal. Snapped pretty good. And for one of the classes I'm in with the Bushcraft Class USA, of course I got my big old bag of fire tinder here, my curly curls, you know, just a bunch of I don't know what you want to call it, shavings is what it is. My mistake. Okay, so I got plenty of ways now to start a fire. I don't think I should need no more. Of course, as I deplenish my supply, I'll have to keep resupplying and everything. But that should be all there is to it. And I'm done with the fire tender thing. But y'all have a good evening. Thank you. Hope y'all enjoyed this series.